is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with another video. Today we're going to talk about the Charlotte Hornets, a team that has been getting so much criticism for letting Kemba Walker walk for nothing. The man stayed with the roster, was all NBA, all-star starter, did everything he could, redid his game, worked on his jump shot, became one of the best players in the entire NBA. He had committed to wanting to stay in Charlotte. Charlotte was committed to him. And next thing you know, he's in Boston. And now they have Terry Rozier, which they have been criticized heavily for signing Rozier for the amount of money and for having him as their starting point guard. He is young enough. He is a guy that has a lot of swagger and confidence. But we all know that this team isn't that good. I'm going to go out of the way, say it quick if you want to know. I do not have this team making the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be a terrible team, but I do not see them being able to score enough points and play enough defense to really compete for one of those bottom spots in the playoffs. I think they're going to be competitive. I think they're going to be an interesting team, but I just don't really see them getting over the hump, and I just don't think they have enough. I am a guy that's a Boston fan, so I watched a lot of Terry Rozier, as I do watch a lot of Boston games. I watch all games. I watch every single game, but I definitely think Boston was an interesting team, and Terry Rozier had that playoff run where he was a starting point guard and he was able to help the Boston Celtics get to the Eastern Conference Finals, even close to the NBA Finals without Kyrie or Gordon Hayward. And a lot of people rolled off of that. A lot of people wanted to see him, and he wanted to do it himself, and that's become a starter. He's getting paid like he's the man, and he's going to get the minutes and the opportunity to do as he please. He's going to get the green light. And the only problem with Terry Rozier is he's not the greatest passer. He's not the most efficient player. But a lot of it we don't know because we haven't seen Terry Rozier get those consistent long stretch of minutes. We haven't seen him really be the focal point of an offense. We haven't really seen him become a defender. Even though I doubt he can become an excellent one, he has always been solid. And the reason why is because he was a bench player. It's not like he was a starter or somebody that started a whole season. This is a guy that we only seen play in spurts. Sometimes he plays, sometimes he don't. Sometimes he only play 15 minutes. And it's going to be interesting to see how Terry Rozier attacks this situation, knowing that he got paid and knowing that he has the opportunity to prove that he's a starter in this league. But a lot of people are doubting that he can do that. And with a guy like Terry Rozier, you will see that he'd be hungry and really want to feast off this opportunity. And the fact that he has some good guards and wings on his team that can really do some interesting things. But, ain't like his team is terrible like, some teams like the Knicks or something where the fits isn't right and the pieces just isn't right. They got some pieces that fit. They got some two-way type of players. They got guys with high upside. And it may not be as bad as people think in Charlotte, but Terry Rozier is the focus. That's the main key to this season. What type of Terry Rozier is we going to see? Is we going to see the inefficient Terry Rozier? Is we going to see a revolutionized Terry Rozier? Is we going to see a hungry Terry Rozier? Or are we just going to see the ordinary Terry Rozier, who isn't a $60 million player, more of a role player? And this is the opportunity that he wanted. This is the situation that he wanted to be in. And now, you get what you asked for. You just got to put up with it. And you're getting the flack. But that's a part of the game of being a starter and getting paid. So I really wanted to start off with him because he's their newest piece and he's going to be one of their main pieces in the future and right now. And I also wanted to mention one more thing about Terry Rozier that a lot of people don't know. He's only 25 years old, so he's not that old. And you are paying him $19 million for the upside of being a starting caliber player. When you look at this roster, it's not that bad. You got Nicholas Batum, who's very overpaid, but he still is a solid player to have, being able to play the 2 or the 3, occasionally be a playmaker, occasionally being a spot up 3-point shooter. Batum has always been a solid player. He was overpaid because players like him don't exist as much. And he's just a guy that could never take his game to the next level and become an all-star caliber player. He was always a star, but he could never take it no further than that. But he's going to have an opportunity at 30 to really play some minutes and really get more shots up. And we're going to see how he be with those opportunities. You look at Bismack Biyombo, he's one of the most overpaid players in the entire NBA. Not the greatest finisher, not the greatest defender, not the most disciplined player. I'm surprised that he got paid the money that he got paid, and he hasn't even came close to proving that he's worth that money. But he is a guy that can be a solid player at best. And for 17 million, I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't even have traded for him. And he hasn't been able to show that he can anchor a defense for an 82-game season. So I don't really see them getting much out of him. Miles Bridges is 21, 21, 21. A guy with huge upside, showing that he can be a solid three-point shooter in the future, a decent rebounder, a guy that can get to the paint and get to the free throw line, and a guy that has a lot of potential. So this is going to be a season where we're going to see a lot more Miles Bridges, and I think that's going to be for the better. I think that's a good thing. You look at Willie Hernan Gomez. He's a solid player. I like him. I think that he has a chance to really get a valuable chance to show his versatility on this team. And I think the minutes is going to do him well, and you can really see how he's going to be and what he could be. You couldn't really see that because he didn't get enough great minutes, but I think the minutes will be there for him. I think that he have an opportunity to show more of what he can be and what he should be, and he'll get paid according to that. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is a guy that didn't live up to the hype, a top 5 pick, top 3 pick, never really became nothing more than a defender, and he was a very good one. That's why he got paid, and he's still in the NBA, but his offense never came. He kept continuing to get injured. He can't knock down the 3, so he can't even be a 3-and-D guy. And he really don't even have an inside game, but he is a team player. He's a good help defender. He's a good on-ball defender, and he is a good slasher and a guy that can come off backdoor cuts and get finishes. You look at Malik Monk, a guy that has huge potential as an athlete, has a decent body, but he needs to continue to put more weight on as he is 6'3", 200 pounds, and needs to be muscle. But I also want to see his consistency get up. This is a guy that has the confidence of a Terry Rozier, but he just don't have the consistency, just like Terry Rozier, to knock down shots continuously. But this is going to be a chance to really see what he's going to be, and was he really worth that selection, and was he really worth all the hype that we have put around him. A lot of people believe in him. A lot of people love Malik Monk, and a lot of people think he's overrated. But he's going to have minutes and chances to prove that he can be a starter in this league. And he is a guy that can be clutch. He is a guy that can take over games. He is a guy that can shoot you out of games. And it's just about getting the right shots and the right diet and being able to get shots that are open and just knocking them down when those opportunities come. And if he can do that, his efficiency shall go up, but he also got to work on his strength and work on his shot creation ability, so that way he can get better looks at the basket, which means he had a higher percent chance of knocking them down. Marvin Williams is still on his team, another guy that's a little overpaid for his position. It seems like this is going to be his last couple times with Charlotte, but he still does fit what they need, being able to be a stretch 4 at that 6'9" frame and 237 weight. He is a solid player, but not a great player. You look at Cody Zeller, another player that's a lot overpaid, not really the most physical guy, not the best guy, but he is a guy that knows his role and doesn't try to go too far away from it. He knows what he is. He knows what he can and can't do, and he understands the game, and, put him in the right situation on the court. He can be a decent player for you. Dwayne Bacon is another guy that people want to see what he's made of. He's going to have an opportunity to do that this year, and we're going to see what he's going to become. But outside of that, they got some solid players. They got a lot of players that got chips on their shoulders, a lot of players that people gave up on or wrote off. They got a lot of players that are overpaid, and they're looking for another check, a contract extension, so they might play a little bit better. And you got a lot of guys that either can hit or miss. Either way, they had to take some gambles on some guys because they don't hit on their picks. And we've seen that with a lot of them outside of Kemba. they have really not drafted and developed that well. And you got to blame that on the whole organization because that's your job. It's to scout talent, develop talent, and help them reach their potential, even if they're on their rookie contracts and they haven't done that enough. And letting go of Kimba, a guy that really gave his heart, his soul, and everything he had to the Charlotte Hornets organization, letting him go for basically nothing really does hurt them because if they are a decent team and they don't get a top 5 pick, they're going to be rebuilding for a longer period of time as they no longer have Kimba and they no longer have any assets from him. So now it's just about can Malik Monk, the Bridges, and Rozier, can they develop and really turn into stars or all-star caliber players in the future. And if they don't, this team is going to be a 3 to 4 year team that's going to be trying to rebuild by the draft. And they don't really get big name free agents. They don't really have the salary cap. They don't really have that many young pieces that I'm high on or see potential in. And they haven't really been able to develop when they have gotten those players. So they really going to have to figure out how this team is going to be ran, what moves need to be made, and they need to be scouting right now because this is not going to be a good team. But what I will say is they got a lot of guys that like to compete. They got a lot of guys that are exciting to watch. And they got a lot of guys that can, knock down some shots and get hot and really put on some good performances. So that's what I see this year. You don't see a lot of games where some guys go for 30, go for 40. You don't see guys that go for 15 because they missed all their shots. You're going to see guys that really have locked in one game. And you're going to see times where they get blew out by a big margin. So this is a team that should be good, but really is a bad team. But at the same time, if you let Kimba walk for nothing, this is the situation that you put yourself in. Do I believe in Terry Rozier? I like him as a person. I like him with his mentality, but I have to believe it to see it. I'm not going to say he's a bust. I'm not going to say really nothing negative about him because he has to go out there and play. This is a whole different team, a whole different system, and this is a bigger opportunity. So I'm not going to judge him based on what he did in the past. I'm just going to use that as this is how Terry Rozier played. This is his game. But also, I want to see what he does preparing to go into this season as he has a different mentality compared to going into a season in Boston. So maybe that'll wake him up. Maybe that'll motivate him. And maybe that'll make him like that fire that he needs to continue to prove the doubters and the haters wrong. I want to see how he do. I don't want him to fail. But at the same time, he got to put in the work. He the one that got to show the results. And if not, the criticism is only going to grow. So that's the situation that he's in. Other than that, if I'm a Charlotte fan, I wouldn't be too happy. Don't really have any great future prospects. Don't really have the best development staff. Don't really have the best team. And you don't even have an all-star anymore. So this is a team that is in the East, too. That's another thing that's bad that they're in the East. So it's going to be a lot of teams worse and a lot of teams that's going to be right around where they are. So that makes it even harder to get a good pick. So if I'm a Charlotte fan, I'm happy we got the team, but y'all going to be rebuilding for a mighty long time. And y'all didn't even make the playoffs this year, so that's in last year. So the last 2 years y'all didn't make the playoffs, and honestly and truthfully, I don't think y'all going to make the playoffs these next couple years unless y'all get a once-in-a-generation player, which we want to see because we don't want to see Charlotte suck because this team has been bad for so long and mediocre for so long. We do want to see them eventually rise, even if I'm not a Charlotte fan. But they're not in a position to do that yet unless they just be so terrible that they have such a good chance to actually hit the pick. But we done seen that over the last couple of years that hasn't even been the way to do it either. So this is a must-watch and must-see team, and that's how I'm going to, end the video. Let me know what you guys think about the Hornets. Let me know if you're a Hornet fan, and let me know if you believe in Terry Rozier. Do you think Bridges and Malik can develop into something, or do you think that they end up situation? Like this video, check out my older videos on my channel. I have many playlists. I break down rookies, I break down players, I break down summer league. I do cover the draft, and I got a mock draft up already. Not only that, I do podcasts, and I also talk about the game of basketball, whether it comes to summer league, free agency, trade deadline, buyouts, and also I cover top 10 discussions and stuff like that. So you like this type of video, you like the NBA, check out my older videos and my playlists. I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching.